Hi, I'm Dave. This is Jay. Jay, today we're going to talk about an issue, frankly, for me, I just can't understand why we can't get it right. We're talking about dealing with our veterans.
Yes.
Our military veterans and, in the conversation, our CMP veterans as well. We can't, for the life of me, I can't understand why we can't just respect our veterans for putting themselves in harm's way around the world for our freedom. So you and I, Jay, can talk like this whenever we want. Those are freedoms I think we take for granted. But so what's going on? Why can't we get this right?
Well, and I think the part that's really disconcerting for many Canadians, as you say, because we want to treat them right. These are the people that put on a uniform, put their lives in jeopardy to preserve the freedoms that all too many Canadians take for granted.
Absolutely.
And, you know, on February 1st of this year, in a town hall meeting in Edmonton, right here in good old Alberta, our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, was asked some questions, and he was quoted as saying this: "Why are we still fighting certain veterans groups in court? Because they're asking for more than we're able to give right now." That's a direct quote from our Prime Minister speaking about veterans.
Absolutely. To a veteran who was wounded,
missing a leg,
standing up asking the Prime Minister, "What are you doing for us?"
Yeah.
And you're right. He said, we can't afford it.
And yet one of the ironies is that we've just recently learned this summer that since taking office in November of 2015, Justin Trudeau's Liberal government has left more than $372 million that were meant to help veterans and their families unspent. So that money is still sitting there. It's going to go back into general revenues. I don't know what it's going to get spent on, but it's not going to get spent on veterans despite what he has claimed.
And programs that they put in the budget that they committed to. And, you know, Trudeau's very big about talking about something he calls this social covenant that we have with veterans. You know, that's the kind of language he uses. But we know it is false. It's a false sentiment because they're not following up on it. There is no social covenant with veterans. They want to try to ignore them. Now, Jay, let's be honest here. The Harper government was accused of doing the same thing, leaving money on the table. That's part of Trudeau's answer machine is
blame Harper.
Well, they did it too.
Yeah.
So, but nonetheless, no matter what government it seems is in place, we can't seem to be able to satisfy, again, this respect idea for our veterans. So you were in government at the time. You know, Pat Stogren, right, was our first veterans ombudsman. You know, he talked about penny pinching insurance mentality.
Yeah.
That's what he talked about.
Well,
so has that changed? I don't know.
Well, it seems to be difficult. I don't understand it myself. And, you know, and there's a more recent controversy. I'm sure you've heard about it, read about it, as I have, Dave. And when the Liberal Veterans Affairs Minister, Seamus O'Regan, was also asked about this controversial case, Christopher Garnier, he was convicted last summer in the brutal murder of a female Halifax police officer. He claimed that by committing the murder, it gave him PTSD. Well, lo and behold, his father is a veteran. And so Veterans Affairs started paying for this convicted murderer to have counseling for his PTSD, who's never served a day in our military.
And he suffered apparently PTSD while brutally murdering a police officer.
A female police
it's
officer.
It's unbelievable. And, you know, the Trudeau government will not answer specifically about that issue, about whether or not he should be getting support. But again, it highlights this sort of mixed messaging, the idea that we can't seem to do what other countries do, Jay. I mean, you look at the UK. If you're a wounded veteran in the UK, you get your pension for life, tax-free. I mean, that's great support. The US does better for their veterans than we do. So, you know what?
And they've got a lot more of them, that's
they do.
for sure.
I mean, we have a fair number too, but you're right. I do think we have to at least get up to world standard, but we have to honor the lip service we're paying to our veterans, Jay. That's what we have to do.
I agree.
Thanks, everybody, for being with us. Listen, you can sure help us out by clicking on the subscribe button down below the screen. Follow us on Facebook and on Twitter and any other social platform I guess we can find. Thanks, everybody, for being with us.